Man, it's been a while since I've done one of these. So this is just kind of an update as to what I've been doing. Because it's been about, somewhere in the neighborhood of 6 months since I recorded anything. Huh. What to say? Well, I got a job. Not to say that I don't like doing this, but this takes years to be able to do. And bills don't like to wait years, as most of you know. So, I now work for, and I'm trying to think of how much I can say. I work for Catholic Community Services. And what I do is I basically work at a center for recovering homelessness. What that is essentially like, what we want is to, we want to get people off of the streets, get them into what is called wraparound services, so that's case management, mental health, getting them permanent housing, because where I work, there is sections of permanent housing, but there's also a emergency shelter. And the reason I'm gonna pausing and stuff, I don't know exactly what I can say because of the sort of information that I now deal with. So I'm attempting to be as vague as possible about what I do. But basically, yeah, I essentially work in homelessness recovery, helping people get housing. So, I also did wind up getting a new van. I'll have to post pictures of that and stuff. Actually, I think I did. I did post a picture on my Facebook about the new van. And so, yeah, I work 4 hours, 5 days a week. I've been working a little bit more, but I got myself in trouble. But yeah, now that I have steady income, is the word? I mean, I make decent money. First and foremost. My hourly wage is $20.12, but like after taxes and everything, like goes down to like $15 an hour. But I mean, for me, $9.14 a month, which is only like $5 an hour. I'm making like, on a good day in a good month, where I can get some days at 8 hours, I'm making like $1,800 a month. So I'm going through a lot of stuff. I'm starting to work. I really enjoy my job. I enjoy working with my clients, and they like me. I love working with my shelter guys. And so I started that because, hey, I got this new vehicle, and it was an $80,000 van. Just like I had said in so many more previous videos, that stuff ain't cheap. And this thing ain't cheap. I think I'm gonna pay like $1,500 for like transmission change, and then I think they're doing like a heating element thing, and then a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, it's not gonna be cheap. And so yeah, I've got this new job. I've really started to do more stuff. And so, like, now that I'm kind of settled into my job, I'm thinking at 4 hours, I get home at noon, I could probably get back to recording knowing that, like, I don't have to rush because I'm not trying to make a career out of this yet. In a perfect world, I could sit here and advocate disability via YouTube in my t-shirt and make enough money to survive. Like, that would be the perfect world for me to just go full-blown either advocate or mental health professional, because a master's in counseling is still on my radar, but like, again, that's $40,000. I've got a lot of stuff that's still on my radar to do, and to like things that I want to do for myself and for my family, and like I'm growing up now. I've got this job. I work every day. I get up at 4 in the morning to go to work and deal with clients every day. Like, it's good. It has its days where I'm like, that was a shit day. And then I go and just come home and I unwind and I play video games. I will possibly start to record me playing those video games. I mean, yeah, it's interesting to say the least. That light feels brighter. Yeah, and so that's what I've been doing. This is kind of a quick update, like, what have I been doing for the past 6 months? I was getting a job, and then doing a bunch of stuff for that, and then, like, I started training at 9 to 5, so I would come home absolutely exhausted, and, like, at 6 in the evening, and then maybe have, like, 2 or 3 hours to decompress, and then back to it again. But now my job's leveled out. I'm making okay money. I could be making more. Yeah, and so that's where I've been this whole time. I've got a couple of videos lined up. There's a couple of news articles that I feel like, while not super current, also have some disability topics that really need to be touched on. So I will be making some videos on those. So yeah, I'll get ready for more video uploads. I'm gonna do a bunch of stuff. As always, like, subscribe, do all of the things. You know, who knows? Maybe I take off and I'm able to do this and do my regular, like, part-time job. Maybe. And then maybe do some other stuff, do some real advocacy, like get to know some people, get into the advocacy space a little bit more. Start to really advocate for people with disabilities. And now homeless people with disabilities, because now I understand a little bit more. And so, that's probably going to be the thing. I'm going to cover a couple of disability news articles that I found that I feel like need to be discussed because they have within them topics that not only happen to me personally, but like that is important for people to understand from a disability perspective. As always, like, subscribe, help me do this thing full time, and do some other things. Depending on what happened if I went full time, I probably wouldn't quit. I enjoy my job far too much. Like, I've had days where I look at what I've done, and I look at people getting housed temporarily or otherwise, and I'm like, that's the job, that's the work, that's I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna pat myself on the back because you've got these people that now have resources, that now have all these things. I mean, the people that I work with sometimes don't even have IDs and identifications and like all this other basic, all these other basic necessities for living in the world, let alone like being financially insecure and sometimes having issues with mental health and physical health. And so when I do get to see the effects of what I do, it just it gives me the boost that I need to keep going, even though sometimes it's just not super good and I get frustrated, and just there are things about the job that do frustrate me. But I mean, I guess that's what working for a nonprofit comes down to, because we do have issues with funding and like needing grants and needing money and needing all of these different things. So yeah, it's not easy working for a nonprofit, but I like it. I like my job. Like, never. I don't hate the job. I hate some of the aspects and some of the structures of where I work. but like they've been super understanding, super accommodating. My coworkers love me, my clients love me, and just it's a good job. I like it, and I can totally see myself doing more of it, and kind of doing more of this if I can. I'd like to do that. I'd like to like have a happy balance between having what is essentially my real job, not that this isn't a real job, it's just very hard to do professionally. But yeah, like having my real job, my mental health work and my social work and all that, and then doing this on the side, like, and making money doing both, and basically telling the state to go pound sand. Not sure if that's appropriate or not, but like, seriously, another big thing I'm going to talk about is like what happens when somebody like me gets a job and what that looks like, and like all of the fun things you have to go through. Alright, this is just a short video for us to get caught up with moi,